Hi, everybody. I'm Chuck Freeby. Welcome to our Facebook Live on WHME 46 Sports as we get you up to date on some developments from around the region. High school football practices began yesterday, and one of the trends seems to be low numbers. Hammond Knoll, that last little school and football field you see on 90 as you go towards the Skyway, well, they won't be using that field over the next 2 years, at least for varsity football. They dropped their program yesterday because of low numbers. Now, this is a school that won the state title in Class 3A in 1989. Their enrollment has since dropped them to 2A, but they will sit on the sidelines for the next 2 years. And they are not the only ones with this problem. Locally, Matt Thacker is the new coach at Fairfield High School, and he only has 18 players out for football this fall. Fairfield feels that's enough for a team, but it's going to be a hard road for the Falcons. And there were also rumors about a problem at Clay with numbers, but when I drove by their practice last night, I saw 25 to 30 young men in pads, so the Colonials should be good to go as well. Of course, a lot of factors go into football numbers at various schools, but the continued awareness of the effects of concussions continues to be a universal factor. Let's talk college football. A month away from the start of the season, we are excited to tell you that once again, Pulse FM in Michiana will be your radio home for Purdue and Indiana football. The Hoosiers will play on 103.1 FM. The Boilermakers will play on 92.1 and 96.9, and that's just the way it's been for the last few years. There is a lot of optimism in both camps, which there usually is this time of year. But you're really hearing a buzz out of the Purdue camp with the job that Jeff Brom did there last fall and some excitement. They've got a couple of Marion players on their roster. It could be components of the offense, certainly their senior center, Kirk Barron, and then the redshirt freshman, Xander Horvath. What kind of contribution can he make on the Boilermaker roster this year? They open with a key Big Ten game. They take on Northwestern on the first Thursday night of the season at Ross-Ade Stadium. As I told you, you'll hear that game on Pulse FM 92.1 and 96.9. As long as we're talking football, we might as well get some pro talk in as well. The Bears play the first preseason game of the year coming up on Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens in the annual Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. New coach Matt Nagy obviously working with Mitch Trubisky as quarterback, but the other story out of the Bears camp right now involves who's not on the field, and that's Roquan Smith, their unsigned first-round pick. Now, the linebacker out of Georgia has a little bit of a problem in the contract right now because he's worried about losing some of his guaranteed money with this new NFL lowering the helmet rule, which could lead to suspensions and missed time. So the Bears and Smith trying to work that out, but every second that goes by is a second that he's not on the field. The Bears say they don't want to set a precedent for the new rule, but the Giants and the Rams set a precedent themselves. They made some alterations in their running backs' contracts to fit into the new rule. Meanwhile, Andrew Luck continues to look like his old self down at Colts camp in Anderson. Sunday night scrimmage, Luck was 19 of 22 for 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He looks to get the starting nod for their preseason opener against Seattle on August 9th. And speaking of the Colts, oh, by the way, Quentin Nelson, the former Notre Dame star, he continues to sparkle, hasn't been beaten yet in a one-on-one drill during practice. Now to baseball. Trade deadline is, well, right now about 5.5 hours away, and the big name on the block is Washington's Bryce Harper. Will somebody make a move to try to acquire the Home Run Derby champion? Going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Washington's pretty confident that they can't re-sign him. So who does go after Bryce Harper? A lot of people feel like it's going to be the Cleveland Indians. Would Terry Francona and Harper be able to mesh? Harper would certainly be a big bat that would lift an Indians offense that has sputtered throughout the year. We'll see what happens. And then what about the Cubs? Do they make a move for Harper? Probably not. What they need is pitching. If the Cubs do make a deal today, I'm predicting it's going to be Brad Ziegler, the right-handed reliever out of Miami, who will kind of stabilize that bullpen for them a little bit. Finally, a couple of notes on some of our girls' sports in the area, especially on the high school scene. Concord won the Goshen Girls Golf Invitational yesterday. Impressive performance by the Minutemen. So congratulations to them. Marion's Rosa Triple was the medalist in that contest. 3 golf teams are in the preseason top 20. Culver Academy is number 7. Northwood is 15th. Penn is 16th. And then history made at Jimtown yesterday because for the first time ever, they had a varsity girls soccer practice. Only 14 players out for the team, but Coach Caitlin Sadler expects that they're going to struggle and find their way, but who knows? Maybe they'll be able to notch the first girls soccer victory in Jimtown history later this year. Don't forget to continue to vote for our 46 Sports Movie Madness tournament that's wrapping up round 2 today. Last matchup of round 2 has Remember the Titans taking on the Longest Yard. So cast your votes and then be back here tomorrow right around 10 in the morning because we will have a special guest to preview the Sweet 16 and also unveil some news of their own. Until then, Chuck Freeby, thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live.